It's the closest thing between you and an extraterrestrial being. A boneless, blue-blooded creature with 3 hearts, 9 brains, and 8 arms, possessing regenerative abilities like the mythical Hydra. It is highly skilled in deception, exceptionally intelligent, and adept at using tools. But after hundreds of millions of years of evolution, they still haven't been able to develop a civilization of their own. We're talking about the octopus, the most fascinating creature on Earth. Octopuses are mollusks with legs growing from their heads. Hence they are also called cephalopods. They are very delicious, which is why they are a familiar sight at drinking parties among friends. But before you take a big bite and nod in approval at its freshness and juiciness, let me tell you a few facts that might make you appreciate your meal a little more. Octopuses possess approximately 500 million nerve cells, which is equivalent to the brain of a dog, known as the dog's brain. Laughs! That sounds like a lot, but you have 86 billion neurons, 172 times more than white matter. The octopus's most remarkable feature is that it has 9 brains. A central brain contains approximately 180 million neurons and 8 mini-brains, which are essentially ganglia, located in each tentacle. Each mini-brain contains approximately 40 million neurons, more than double the number of neurons an average X-type organism has in its entire body. This centrally located arrangement allows each of the octopus's arms to function independently of each other and of the central brain. They can move freely, touch, and taste food without commands from their brain. Of course, the brain still retains control and can issue commands to each arm as needed. Hey, I don't like that. Don't eat it. For people whose hands move faster than their brains, exaggeration or overstatement is the answer. For an octopus, it is perfectly normal for their hands to move faster than their brains. But if you think an octopus's head is full of brains, then you're mistaken. In fact, its stomach is located in its head. The brain is located in front of the forehead between the eyes and below the stomach. Ironically, the esophagus, which carries food from the mouth to the stomach, runs straight through the brain. When an albatross swallows a large piece of food, its esophagus stretches all the way to the brain to push the food up to the stomach. When bitten by a shark, the white tentacled animal can detach one or more of its tentacles and swim away. New tentacles of comparable quality will grow back after a few months. Octopuses are among the most intelligent creatures in the invertebrate kingdom. A giant octopus at the National Marine Life Center amazed its keepers when it solved a 3 by 3 Rubik's Cube in just 5.24 seconds. What? Just kidding. Octopuses are not yet intelligent or agile enough to solve a Rubik's Cube. The video you just watched was just an April Fool's Day prank. Nevertheless, octopuses are still intelligent creatures. They possess incredibly flexible tentacles capable of learning and solving puzzles, mazes, playing with objects, and opening jar lid from both the inside and outside, even squeezing through holes much smaller than their own bodies. An octopus measuring 84 centimeters in length and weighing over 2 kilograms can shrink itself and squeeze through a hole just 5 centimeters in diameter. Let's go with Amazing Good Chop. But he's still inferior to that guy you shouldn't even mention in the movie, Zhou Xingji. How'd you get in here? Tell me. There's a hole in the corner of the wall. That's a mouse hole. I know how to shrink myself. Wow. Octopuses are also among the few animal species that know how to use tools. They know to carry empty coconut shells to use as shelters or some kind of shield against the wind when attacked by predators. If you recall, our ancestors first learned to use tools about 2.6 million years ago. And could this be a sign that octopuses are building their own civilization? We discuss this in more detail later in the video. Another unique characteristic of octopuses is that they have 3 hearts. And if you're wondering why they need so many hearts, the answer is probably that the more hearts they have, the more people they'll love. The more hearts you have, the more people will love you. Just kidding. No need to take it so seriously. Unlike mammals, including humans, which have red blood containing hemoglobin and iron, the octopus's blood is blue because of the heminin protein it contains. Essentially, copper-containing proteins work very effectively in the harsh, low oxygen conditions ideal for life in the ocean. However, hemocyanin binds to oxygen less efficiently than hemoglobin. Octopuses compensate for this by having 3 hearts, 2 of which are branched hearts that pump blood through the gills to obtain oxygen. The central heart then pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. Does your iPhone have facial recognition capabilities? The same goes for octopuses. Does your iPhone know how to spray water on the person you hate? Yes, there are octopuses. At the University of Otago in New Zealand, an employee, for reasons unknown, ended up on the blacklist of an octopus. Every time the woman walked past the water tank, the octopus would show its displeasure by spitting and spraying water at her. This suggests that octopuses may have Face ID capabilities, given that all the staff here wear uniforms. Camouflage is a common skill among most marine invertebrates, but octopuses have taken it to another level. The algal octopus lifts 6 of its blunt tentacles to mimic algae and walks backward on the remaining 2. The sinewy octopus walks with its 6 arms curled under its body, making it look like a coconut stretching along the seabed. Notably, both of these modes of locomotion allow the octopus to move backward more quickly than when crawling on all 8 legs. The audacious mimic octopus can even twist its body and rearrange its tentacles to cosplay the predators that hunt its prey. Oh dear, so the one who's been hurt wants to make peace with others? They can spread their tentacles around to mimic the spines of lionfish. Conceal 6 tentacles, keeping the remaining 2 parallel to each other to mimic a venomous sea snake. They can be headless and extend their tentacles backward to mimic jellyfish, or hold all 8 tentacles together and swim using a siphon to mimic a flounder. But wait, octopuses only have one type of photoreceptor cell, meaning they're colorblind and only see the world through shades of gray. So how on earth could these creatures with heads growing out of their bodies become masters of camouflage? Think about it. Why would an intelligent creature risk a dazzling, colorful mating dance if both the female and the octopus are blind, while their enemy, the fish, is not? And how can they blend into their surroundings when they don't know what color they are? It is true that octopuses, along with squid and other head-dwelling animals, only have one type of photoreceptor cell used to perceive the 2 colors black and white. But that doesn't mean it's a blind drum. The lens in our eye is like a prism. It focuses light onto the retina, while simultaneously separating white light into different colors. The eyes of humans and other mammals have round pupils that give us sharp vision with all colors focused on the same point. The eyes of the octopus and its companions are different. Their pupils have bizarre shapes, sometimes U-shaped, W-shaped, or dumbbell-shaped. It allows light to pass through the lens from multiple directions and converge on the retina at various wavelengths corresponding to different colors. This is known as dispersion or chromatic aberration. Scientists believe this is how octopuses see color using only one type of photoreceptor cell. Depending on the type, the skin contains thousands to millions of pigment cells called chromatose scattered across its surface. Each cell is a dark mass containing hundreds of thousands of nano-sized pigment particles. Surrounding each sac is an elastic matrix structure connected by hundreds of muscle fibers that stretch and change the shape of the sac, allowing light to enter and reflecting colors from the pigment particles. Chameleons take more than a minute to change their body color. Octopuses only need to blink for about 0.1 seconds, and they can change their shape up to 177 times in an hour. Even more surprisingly, the white fungus can alter the texture of the skin thanks to tiny bumps called papillae. They can stretch the skin, making it smooth like ocean waves, or contract it, making it rough and bumpy like stone. Thus, the octopus is an invertebrate creature with blue blood, 3 hearts, 9 brains, 8 arms, and the ability to regenerate like the mythical Hydra. It possesses exceptional camouflage skills, is exceptionally intelligent, and knows how to use assistive tools. To put it mildly, octopuses are the Earth creatures closest to extraterrestrials, and you're certainly not the only one who thinks so. In a 2018 study discussing the Cambrian explosion of life, researchers suggested that albatross may have ridden a meteorite to Earth as a kind of commutator. He entered the scientific field, reasoning that extremely powerful volcanic eruptions or an asteroid collision could have blown the octopuses off their home planet. The eggs, preserved on icy cold trays, traveled billions of kilometers through space before reaching Earth. This research is highly controversial because it revives a seemingly forgotten hypothesis about the origin of life called panspermia. It is believed that life in the universe has drifted from one star system to another on the tails of comets. These comets may have scattered viruses across the Earth. Extraordinarily resilient creatures, such as water bears, or even the evergreen octopus. Between 541 and 530 million years ago was the Camry explosion, a brief period in Earth's history when life burst forth in unprecedented numbers and diversity. Of the 53 modern animal, plant, and fungal phyla, between 25 and 30, including the ancestor of the octopus, are thought to have arisen within the full 11 million years of this event. Scientists hypothesize that it's possible the fertilized octopus was frozen on a comet that crashed into the sea at the beginning of the Camry explosion. Or it's also possible that an extraterrestrial virus, such as a retrovirus capable of altering the host cell's genome, infected the ancestor of squid and caused it to rapidly evolve into the modern octopus. Although it sounds exciting, this theory has a flaw. On Earth, retroviruses only infect certain specific hosts. A retrovirus from outer space would not have evolved to serve Earth's organisms specifically, and certainly wouldn't be specific enough for something like a squid or an octopus. This means that for a virus, such as a retrovirus, to transform a squid into an octopus, it would have to originate from an octopus-like planet. And of course, that scenario is highly unlikely to happen or even be known. Another piece of evidence put an end to it. Support this hypothesis. The octopus genome, decoded in 2015, revealed that the genes of these neurotic octopuses, or rather, the nervous system of these octopuses only diverged from squid about 135 million years ago, which is very, very long after the Camry explosion ended. Octopuses may not have come from the hallway, but their bizarre nature is undeniable. They and their other relatives with legs growing from heads even found an evolutionary hack. In most animals, mutations first occur in DNA, which is then transcribed into RNA. The RNA is then translated into a modified protein. Octopuses are different. They can modify proteins without having to change the design of the DNA. This remarkable trick allows them to make extremely rapid cellular level changes that adapt to environmental changes without having to wait for the slow, traditional evolutionary process. To give you a better idea, octopuses have about 33,000 genes, half of which are capable of regulating RNA. Humans have about 20,000 genes, and only a few dozen of them can do the same thing. This raises a crucial question. Why haven't octopuses yet developed a civilization beneath the ocean? If they can't be as magnificent as humans, at least they should be as impressive as ants. The answer largely lies in their short lifespan and their forever in the vagina lifestyle. With approximately 300 species recorded, octopuses have a lifespan ranging from only 6 months to 5 years. Like most other fast-living species, the octopus's ideal life is simply reproduction. But to build a civilization, simply having children is not enough. In males, their first and only mating triggers an extremely powerful aging process, even more potent than Nasu's the desert dog's W ability. Its cells deteriorate without being repaired or replaced, and death is scheduled within weeks, or most months. After laying her eggs, the female will dedicate the rest of her life to protecting and aerating them by continuously fanning them with her fan-like appendages. They quickly become exhausted and die shortly after hatching. And when their parents are reunited in the underworld, that's when the ordeal for the baby octopus begins. There is no one around to show them how to navigate the world, how to build nests, how to camouflage themselves, how to attack prey, or how to fight for survival. They live solitary lives, and fortunately, They possess brains intelligent enough to solve problems on their own. Clearly, circumstances matter, but intelligence alone is not enough. The solitary lifestyle of octopuses means that no accumulated knowledge can be passed on to future generations. Each octopus may possess the wisdom of Confucius. Let all become meaningless if their children have to start plowing everything again. Where did it come from? Imagine a game like Candy Cross Saga without a save game feature. That'll be fun. Humans and primates live in societies where knowledge and experience are passed on through behaviors. Octopuses do not have a society where knowledge is circulated and accumulated. Therefore, their civilization only goes as far as me alone. But isn't that a good thing? Octopuses have existed for hundreds of millions of years, and if their intelligence hadn't been reset after each generation, their skills wouldn't have accumulated from one generation to the next. So, does humanity have the opportunity to build our own civilization? Or perhaps octopuses came ashore and invaded the world millions of years ago. You have 2 hands, but an octopus has 8. Wrestling, fencing, gunfight, throwing stones, and throwing reeds. I've seen brown in every game already. Do you feel regret that octopuses couldn't build their own civilization? Please leave a comment below. But always remember to like the video if you find it interesting, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to follow more animal-related content for VFX. And now, goodbye and see you again.